Hi everyone. Our presentation intends to discuss sustainability literacy approaches in library and information science education with a focus on epistemological beliefs, teaching and learning. So we'll start by briefly presenting some key concepts. Then we'll address the context, the methods of the research, the sustainability literacy topic, and finally present some of our main outcomes. Achieving sustainability literacy requires multidisciplinary approaches and exploration of interconnectedness of various themes within sustainable development. So our first key concept is sustainability or sustainable development, which for the purpose of this study were considered as synonymous in line with the perspective of authors like Gray and Giovanni and Fabietti. Even though definitions of sustainability or sustainable development abound, the most cited definition is the one proposed by the Brundtland Report in 1987, which states that sustainable development is development that meets the needs of present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Thus, everyone in society should be sustainability literate, that is, someone that can mobilize the competencies needed to respect the present and simultaneously face the challenges of the future. According to Dekan, sustainable literacy is the knowledge, skills and mindsets that help compel an individual to become deeply committed to building a sustainable future and allow him or her to make informed and effective decisions to this end. Serpensa listed 8 categories of components of sustainability literacies, which you can see listed on the present slide. Epistemological beliefs is another of the key concepts. It refers to students' views of science, personal epistemology, based on the curriculum and discourse of teachers throughout the learning process. The development of an adequate level of EB is considered an essential educational objective since EB helps understanding the scientific results obtained and then also influence students' cognitive process of thinking and as well as their choice of learning approaches. They can be seen also as dependent on the information resources that are available at a given moment. Moving to our second topic, the context, we'd like to point that it is generally accepted that competencies acquired through higher education are a key driver of social and economic transformation. Moreover, according to McCowell, universities have been assigned a central role in sustainable development goals set by the 2030 Agenda. Although there has been considerable progress in the incorporation of sustainable development into the curricula of higher education institutions in Europe, particularly on competencies for sustainable development and non-pedagogical approaches, there has been limited research on the connection between how courses are delivered, the pedagogical approaches, and how they may affect sustainability competence. In addition, the lack of emphasis on the direct measurement of how universities are producing sustainability literate graduates is a continued shortcoming in the examination. The academic debate discusses sustainability key competencies with a variety of research and teaching approaches, but they are rarely operationalized as a specific learning objectives for different educational levels. A recent study shows that critical thinking and analysis and interdisciplinary work are the competencies most widely covered and recognized, followed by systems thinking, interpersonal relations and collaboration, and assessment and evaluation. Lecturing case studies and project or problem-based learning, interdisciplinary team teaching and mind maps are the most widely used pedagogical approach, all being considered the most effective ways to develop the competencies. The available literature shows some convergence in the identification of system thinking, futures thinking, and normative, strategic, and interpersonal competencies as the key competencies. These competencies are focused on problem-driven and solution-oriented to plan, conduct, and engage in sustainability research. Our reading of the current literature about sustainability in libraries indicates that there is an increasing interest in this field. In what specifically concerns the intersection of library information studies with sustainability and competencies management, the main research focus has been on sustainability literacy and on a green information service research agenda that includes information sustainability practice and sustainable information science. Complementary research developed by IFLA has also been exploring this interdisciplinary field, bringing together ideas and approaches from different areas and promoting attitudes and competencies of librarians towards the 2030 agenda, mainly through the Special Interest Group on Environment, Sustainability and Libraries, which is called ENSULIB. Since 2012, Nova University has an ongoing teaching and training strategy research in information science that, valuing interdisciplinarity, intersects performance evaluation and sustainable development. Several learning experiences, involvement and development of competencies focused on sustainability literacy competencies emerged from this strategy and has been documented in articles and papers, namely the co-creation of a sustainability assessment structure linking sustainability metrics to quality management, the co-creation of sustainability indicators for measurement of impacts on cultural organizations, the co-creation of an open assessment skills taxonomy, and the PLS project, Public Libraries Contribution to Sustainable Development Goals, gathering evidence and evaluating practices. From 2017 onwards, research on participatory evaluation and co-evaluation competencies also explored the interconnections with open science and open evaluation. Thus, this paper discusses the strategic approach to sustainability literacy in library information studies followed by Nova University of Lisbon, anchored in the creation in 2015 of the Master in Information Management Curation. This new master program is a joint venture between Nova Faculty of Social Science and Human Studies and Nova Information Management School, a member of iSchools. Considering that assessing the impact of these initiatives is crucial, this paper intends to discuss critically this pedagogical experience as an answer to the research question: how can LIS courses be successful in the pedagogy and learning of literacy sustainability? How to assess their impact was a supplementary question. We pursued two objectives. First, to identify the relevant key competencies in sustainability literacy, and second, to synthesize the transition from competencies to learning objectives outcomes linked to information literacy. In this quest, we seek to contribute to the debate on information literacy transdisciplinary contexts and the relevance of reflecting on LIS students' epistemological beliefs. Concerning the methods that support the present study, we'd like to point that we examine the master's interdisciplinary curricular design to identify the relevant key competencies. In the analysis of the operationalization process of key competencies in sustainability, we highlight the pedagogical strategies of using a model of competencies developed in a transversal and holistic way for two course units: performance evaluation and sustainability of information service, and organizational management and organizational behavior. Qualitative methodologies were used in this study to investigate learning impacts, using a narrative approach to provide access to beliefs and the meaning students ascribe to specific pedagogical experiences. The process of interpretation and understanding of data collected are related to hermeneutics, using the analysis of what and how reflexive questions to explore differences in sustainability perceptions and competencies. All students participated in the study. The total number of participants was 50, with an average age of 25 years old. 19 of the participants were male and 31 were females. A focus group was used to evaluate purposes by teachers and students. Students were also involved in post-interviews, personal reflection, and concept mapping of key skills to analyze learning and epistemological beliefs. As we previously mentioned, Nova University's strategic approach to sustainability competence, developed in the Master in Information Management and Curation, is mainly anchored in two course units, which you can see. So it's the Performance Evaluation and Sustainability of Information Services course unit, and the other course unit is Organizational Management and Behavior. In what concerns pedagogical methods, both course units put an emphasis on student activating methods, frequently focused on solving real community problems. These approaches were effective tools in a problem-oriented education to solve real community problems driven by the operationalization of concepts and models. For example, a library model developed to help Portuguese librarians gathering evidence of libraries' contribution to sustainable development goals was used in the Performance Evaluation and Sustainability of Information Service course unit. The concept "A Build Back Better" was used in the Organizational Management, Organizational Behavior course unit. In this course unit, students were also able to apply for an award on the 2030 agenda, which was called the Build Back Better Challenge, promoted by a business association. The concept of sustainability embedded into our everyday life information practice was used to understand current multi-contextual informational behaviors. We conceive sustainability learning objectives as the result of a combination of three aspects: sustainability literacy, competencies, and epistemological beliefs. They were essential for the success of the pedagogical strategies developed within this master course. The data collected from students' comments pointed to a process of epistemological change from an initial stage of sustainability knowledge fragmentation to the acquisition of a systemic perspective, recognizing their need to constant updating. It was possible to develop a simplified overview of the 5 facets of students' epistemological beliefs: beliefs about knowing, ways of knowing, beliefs about learning, self-regulation learning, and cultural relational views. As illustrated in this table, library and information studies sustainability literacy can emerge from classroom performance through the development of key competencies in interaction with epistemological beliefs. These competencies are listed and organized around the 3 basic types identified by Amador Hidalgo and Ariona Fuentes, which are cognitive, methodological, and attitudinal. Transitions from competencies to learning objectives, outcomes, is marked with the signal that characterize students' opinions about their beliefs and the results of these pedagogical experiences. These results indicate that perceived learning outcomes relates positively to key sustainability competencies, but some research areas that got less marks, signals, like beliefs about learning, self-regulation, learning and cultural relational views, need to be redefined to ensure that all of the key categories were sufficiently discussed and understood. Finally, we'll address the last topic of our presentation, the main outcomes of our studies. An interdisciplinary and reflexive approach to epistemological beliefs on teaching, pedagogy and learning could be a key strategy for integrating a sustainability literacy perspective in LIS courses with relevant implications. 3 broad competencies area and 19 specific competencies were identified. These were assembled into a classroom performance table supported by the results of the epistemological belief studies. By presenting a relational path between sustainability, competencies, and epistemological beliefs developed in a classroom, we were also fostering new professional profiles and preparing students for sustainability intervention areas, namely information literacy trainers, facilitators for library internal and/or external audience. Second, in the advocacy area, where evidence gathering and promotion of information services contribution to sustainable development is vital. And a third area which has to do with research on sustainable information behavior and greening libraries to embed the concept in sustainability into our everyday life information practice. This approach may also offer reference points and sources of inspiration for planning educational strategy and may assist lab and information science educators in situating, analyzing, and enriching theoretical choices, pedagogical practice, and promoting new contributions for literacy skills discussion. Future efforts to conceptualize a broadly applicable and pedagogy guiding framework for sustainability literacy assessment should use SULI test, which is the Sustainability Literacy Test, an open online training and assessment tool developed as an international collaborative initiative to evaluate students' knowledge in sustainability critical areas. So, thanks for your attention, and we'll leave you with our contacts. If you have any further questions or interest in our research, please contact us. Thank you.